Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate.
When there's nothing of substance to contribute, some just ramble endlessly. The panelists on The View often seem disconnected from the majority of Americans, pushing a narrative that feels out of touch with the public. Whoopi Goldberg, who reigned over the show for years, controlled the conversation like royalty. She would cut off guests, bulldoze opposing views, and present her opinions as absolute truths. But one unforgettable moment disrupted her tight grip on daytime TV, and it came from an unlikely source, Karoline Leavitt. The episode started like any other, with the usual smug laughs, eye rolls, and the panelists all nodding along with the show's left-leaning agenda. However, Leavitt's appearance marked a turning point in the show's dynamic. Her unexpected intervention exposed cracks in Whoopi's long-held dominance. The moment was a game-changer, leaving viewers stunned as the power balance on the show shifted before their eyes, signaling a new era for The View
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whoopi, as self-assured as ever, settled back, ready to steer the conversation. Then the topic of wokeness came up, something The View practically reveres, defending it like it's the foundation of their existence. Feeling invincible, Whoopi took the first shot, her trademark smirk appearing. She pointed at Karoline and boldly declared, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." Just like that, the entire atmosphere shifted. The room grew tense and the audience could feel it. Even Joy Behar, who had built her career mocking conservatives, squirmed uncomfortably in her chair. Whoopi's confident jab set off a chain reaction that caught everyone off guard, altering the energy in a split second.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
What Whoopi says next is exactly what you'd expect, predictable and irritating. After all these years as a host, you'd think she'd have more creativity in her banter, but nope. It's the same old routine. She takes the easy route, leaning on tired lines that lack originality. It's almost as if she's going through the motions, offering nothing fresh or engaging. And here we are again, stuck with the same predictable shtick.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
The atmosphere was thick with tension, and everyone braced for what was coming next. Whoopi Goldberg was about to face a response she wasn't prepared for. This wasn't just a simple disagreement or playful back and forth. No, this was a direct attack on Karoline Leavitt's career, intelligence, and work ethic. Whoopi dismissed everything Karoline had worked for as simply a byproduct of the very ideology she opposed. The condescension was undeniable, designed to belittle Karoline entirely. Yet, despite the clear insult, the audience clapped almost on autopilot. Some even chuckled. But underneath it all, there was a palpable unease, a subtle tension in the air. It was as if they knew Whoopi had crossed a line, but no one was quite sure if they could acknowledge it. Karoline, however, didn't flinch. She didn't stumble or scramble for an escape. She didn't rush to defend herself with a snappy comeback. Instead, she did something far more powerful. She smiled, a slow, knowing smile that said, "Oh, you just made a big mistake." It wasn't cocky or overconfident, but a smile from someone who knew they had the facts, the evidence, and the composure to completely flip the situation. And with an unshakable calm that was almost unnerving, Karoline did exactly that. This was something the audience had never witnessed before. Karoline wasn't getting defensive or engaging in petty back and forth. Instead, she launched into cold, hard facts, undeniable numbers that couldn't be dismissed with a sarcastic comment or wave of the hand. She detailed government spending reports showing how taxpayer dollars were being funneled into absurdly woke programs, gender studies in Guatemala, Sesame Street adaptations designed to export American social activism globally, and countless other eyebrow-raising initiatives. With surgical precision, Karoline connected the dots, revealing how wokeness had morphed from a social movement into a political weapon, one being used to silence, control, and punish anyone who dared to challenge it. And Whoopi? She wasn't laughing anymore.
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
Karoline is incredibly articulate, isn't she? It's honestly baffling that the hosts on The View chose to mock her rather than support another woman. It really exposes their underlying agenda. Watching this play out, it's clear Karoline is about to drop more undeniable truths, facts that will be impossible for them to ignore. Her calm, measured approach is revealing something far deeper, and the hosts seem to be realizing that their usual tactics won't work this time.
Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
Who had built her career on dominating conversations, shutting down conservative voices, and bulldozing through uncomfortable topics was suddenly on the defensive. Whoopi shifted in her seat, her usual smirk gone, her hands fidgeting as though searching for something to hold on to. She was accustomed to guests fumbling their words, struggling to keep up with her rapid-fire comebacks, but this time, the tables were turned. No matter how much she might have wanted to clap back or steer the conversation back to her favor, she couldn't. Karoline wasn't giving her the chance. For the first time in ages, it was clear to everyone watching that Whoopi Goldberg had backed herself into a corner, and there was no easy way out. Whoopi opened her mouth, then shut it again. She tried once more, still nothing. The words just wouldn't come. The audience, usually so quick to cheer her on, sat frozen in an uncomfortable silence. Even the most loyal fans of The View seemed unsure of how to react. The energy in the room had shifted, and for once, no one knew whether to laugh, clap, or simply wait for Whoopi to regain control. Even the camera crew hesitated, unsure whether to zoom in on Whoopi's stunned expression, capturing the moment she realized she had trapped herself, or cut to a commercial, hoping the viewers wouldn't notice. Whoopi, who was usually so quick with a snide remark or dismissive gesture, sat stiffly in her chair, clearly wishing she could disappear into it. She had walked straight into a trap, and there was no easy way out. And here was the real question that Karoline had exposed. If wokeness is truly about diversity and inclusion, why are conservative women the ones being attacked? Why do those who preach tolerance turn vicious when confronted with someone who doesn't fall in line with their ideology? In that moment, Whoopi Goldberg realized she had no comeback, no sharp retort, no witty remark to turn the situation around. The silence dragged on, and everyone felt it. Desperate to recover, Joy Behar jumped in, trying to force out a nervous joke in a last-ditch effort to break the tension. But the damage had already been done. Whoopi had done something she had never done before. She had completely unraveled on live television.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say.
The way their arguments come across as childish and dismissive, especially when confronted with facts she can't easily rebut. It makes you question how someone like her continues to maintain such a strong voice and following. It's frustrating to see someone who so clearly lacks substance still holding onto a platform. Maybe it's because she's been ingrained in daytime TV culture for so long, but at this point, you'd think they would replace her with someone capable of bringing more thoughtful, meaningful discussion to the table. It's baffling that after all this time, she remains the face of a show that could use a change of pace.
They talk at you, not to you, and that's what she was doing, and she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail.
And the internet, the internet went wild. Memes, reaction clips, endless commentary flooded social media within minutes. Whoopi's stunned reaction was replayed on loop, circulating everywhere. But here's where it gets even crazier. This wasn't the first time Whoopi had gotten herself into hot water with her unchecked commentary. Over the years, the View had become a lawsuit factory, with ABC dragged from one controversy to the next, from tone-deaf comments about the Holocaust to bizarre defenses of questionable figures. Whoopi had been at the center of some of the show's most scandalous moments, but nothing hit ABC harder than the recent wave of defamation lawsuits. First, it was Carrie Underwood, then Elon Musk, and now Karoline Leavitt, each lawsuit stacking up one after the other, making it harder for ABC to ignore the costs of Whoopi's reckless words. And the worst part? This time, Whoopi couldn't blame anyone else. She had no one to throw under the bus. Let's talk about Carrie Underwood. When Carrie performed at Trump's second inauguration, Whoopi and her co-hosts didn't just criticize her performance, they went full-on savage. They mocked her, claiming she had ruined her career, even suggesting she was now aligned with hate. The entire segment felt like a character assassination, and they expected Carrie to sit back and take it. But Carrie did something no one saw coming. Instead of issuing a vague statement or a tweet, she filed a billion-dollar defamation lawsuit against the View . When the case finally made it to court, something explosive came to light, something that not even Whoopi was prepared for. The legal fallout was just beginning, and this was one storm ABC couldn't easily weather.
Saw live on this program yesterday. Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Karoline.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
No, you cannot be attractive and smart. I will try to give Joy the benefit, and thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her up.
It's refreshing to see someone break free from the View's scripted narratives. Watching someone confidently stand their ground with facts feels like a victory, especially when the usual voices start to unravel. It's satisfying to hear a different perspective, one that isn't confined by the typical agenda. There's something empowering about seeing someone challenge the status quo and hold their own in a space often dominated by predictable opinions.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt she went to St. Anselm College, she worked for WMUR
Ran
TV.
for Congress?
In New Hampshire, she ran for Congress at the age of 25. But on a very good campaign.
Karoline's accomplishments are impressive, and it's great to see her finally getting the recognition she deserves. On the flip side, Whoopi's contributions are harder to define these days. While she had a strong start in acting, her recent work seems more focused on stirring controversy than offering meaningful dialogue. Her status on the View feels more about her long tenure than any real value she's currently adding. It's difficult to point to anything substantial she's done in recent years, and her influence on the show now seems to be more about maintaining the status quo than sparking thought-provoking discussion. The shift is noticeable.
She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives and this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job.
Leaked emails revealed that ABC had intentionally orchestrated the attack on Carrie Underwood to boost ratings. It wasn't an accidental slip. It was a calculated smear campaign designed to create controversy, spark outrage, and keep the View trending. When the truth surfaced, the industry was shaken. ABC executives scrambled into full damage control mode, eventually settling for a massive undisclosed amount behind the scenes. Whispers started circulating about whether the View was even worth the trouble anymore. But just when they thought the storm had passed, Elon Musk entered the picture. Whoopi and the hosts spent months portraying Musk as a dangerous figure, spreading false claims about Twitter's policies under his ownership. Musk wasn't going to let that slide. He filed a lawsuit, and the View was back in crisis mode. Advertisers who had once been loyal to the show started pulling back, tired of the constant scandals. The show's reputation as a ratings goldmine began to tarnish. Big-name sponsors started questioning whether the risk was worth it, especially as the lawsuits piled up. The cracks in the View became more apparent, and the once unstoppable force led by Whoopi Goldberg seemed to be crumbling. With 3 lawsuits and advertisers jumping ship, ABC found itself in full panic mode. The View was no longer the asset it once was, and the network couldn't stop the spiral. What was once a television powerhouse was now fighting to stay afloat.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation.
Whoopi's just talking in circles, but Karoline is the one truly standing up. She's the real hero here, pushing back against all the chaos and nonsense. While others rely on rhetoric and controversy, Karoline confronts the issues head-on with facts and clarity. Her courage and composure in the face of it all are what make her a powerful force for change.
The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our...
Whoopi Goldberg's time on The View came to an unexpected end after years of dominating the show and silencing opposing views. The final blow came during her showdown with Karoline Leavitt, which exposed her vulnerabilities on live TV in a way that couldn't be ignored. ABC tried to spin it as a break for Whoopi, claiming she needed time off, but it was clear she had been let go. The network, already on edge due to mounting controversies, quickly shifted into damage control mode. As the situation unfolded, advertisers began pulling their support, and even the show's loyal fan base started questioning its future. With Whoopi gone, The View faces a major crossroads. Will ABC continue to maintain the status quo, potentially replacing Whoopi with another host who upholds the same divisive dynamic? Or will they seize this opportunity to change direction, bringing in someone who can foster more balanced, meaningful discussions? The absence of Whoopi, once the face of the show, marks a pivotal moment for The View The future of the show now hangs in the balance, and this could be the beginning of the end for what was once a daytime television powerhouse. With shifting public sentiment and a tarnished reputation, ABC has a difficult decision to make. Will they rebrand or double down on the formula that has defined the show for years? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think The View can recover, or is this the start of its decline?